Season 19 is here. And of course, thank you EA for inviting me to playtest it early. Thanks to that, I have some tips to give you an edge for this upcoming season, so stay tuned and strap in to make sure you stay in the know. We've covered almost everything new this season already when it comes to balance changes, buffs, and nerfs in previous videos, so I won't go too in-depth with many of these, but there are still plenty of things that you're going to want to know and to do to get ahead in the new season. First of all, you're going to want to try out the changes to the ping system, because while it is a smaller change, they will make communicating so much easier. By double-clicking while on the map, you will now add an enemy ping instead of the regular ping, which is pretty cool, I guess, but hold on, because it gets a lot better. In addition to that, you can now reply to enemy pings with OK, hold on, or wait, so make sure to give this a try to stay in sync with your randoms this very season. Moving on, while it did receive some nerfs coming out of the care package, the L-Star is still buffed overall since the last time we saw it on the floor, and it can absolutely shred in the right hands. As far as I know, it still has the damage pass-through, as well as a way easier to control recoil, so give it a try. It might just be your main gun this season. If not, it's a good weapon to keep in your hands while you are looking for a Devotion or a Havoc, but more on that one later. In the meantime, you're going to want to visit some of the new POIs on Stormpoint. Some of the reworked POIs like Watson's Pylon, where Antenna used to be, has an insane amount of high-tier loot, as well as the first and only ultimate charge tower on Stormpoint, which will help you out if you need an early ultimate for certain legends that may benefit from it, such as Lifeline or Revenant, or if you're just going for an early fight or contest. The charge tower is on the middle of the POI. Also, a quick heads up, if you didn't have your accounts connected to your EA ID already, they will not be eligible for cross-progression. The last day you could have an account connected to your EA ID and have it applied to cross-progression was on October 26th, which was before the news even broke, so do absolutely not connect your account to your EA ID, as some players have reported that this completely reset their stats as well. If you are facing off against a conduit, and let's face it, you're definitely going to, keep in mind that while her ultimate slows and takes damage, the effect is a lot worse if you are sprinting. The shield jammers will turn your sprint into a walk, and it will remove all of your speed, which may turn a slide into a dead slide, or even worse, turn you into a completely stationary target if you try running through it. So instead of trying to rush through it, you can just break each canister, they have 250 health, or you can just slow walk through it, as this means you will take minimal damage. Also, if you're playing a position and get hit with her ultimate, don't panic. After Conduit has deployed her ultimate and it lands on you, it will take 4 seconds to prime, giving you ample of time to break it or get out of dodge. If you find a turbocharger, make sure to hold on to it. Even though they are expensive to build, the Havoc or even the Devotion are insanely good again this season, thanks to the 1 damage reduction finally being removed from the attachment. Now, because most people haven't been running these weapons, it will take some time getting used to the feel and the recoil, so I suggest hitting the firing range and just practicing that recoil pattern of the 2 guns before actually getting into it. Also be warned, if you do run a Devotion, be ready to lose all of your energy ammo right away, but damn if it isn't a beamer. Also, as I mentioned previously, if you do find a L-Star and some energy attachments with a turbocharger but you don't have a Havoc or whatever, you could hold on to the L-Star or use it like an HM slave until you find the other energy weapons that you might want to build. In the same vein, and probably more importantly so, always pick up the Wingman this season. It might be one of the best guns with Season 19 after entering the care package, dealing an insane amount of damage with 50 damage per body shot and 95 damage per headshot, no matter the helmet status. Of course, you want to combine this with the boosted loader and try to keep your ammo boosted up at max capacity, so overloaded at all times. Just keep in mind that it only comes with 119 bullets in total, so try not to poke with it for no reason. Make sure that you use every shot with intent. But that's not to say that it still isn't really good over the longer ranges. However, try to use it when you are within like a mid-range, which is sort of between right outside the range you would commit to the fight from, to the closer range of the enemy teams. So obviously going for a care package will be a given from the strength of the Wingman alone, but on the subject of care packages, not only the Wingman is getting buffed, but the care package as a whole is getting buffed as well. From now on, every care package is guaranteed to have a weapon inside of it, making it more than worthwhile to grab yourself a Prowler, a Bocek, or a Wingman on the rotation, especially since you can't craft a digital threat anymore, which makes them so much more valuable. I mean, hey, if you don't want the Prowler, you can at least pick it up and take the digital threat off of it. And that brings me to the second point. Again, digital threats. With the removal of the Digiday, with the removal of IMC armories and Prowlers, there's going to be a lot fewer digital threats in the upcoming season. So if you do see one, make sure to ping it or grab it because it can be a game changer. if you don't want to use it, it might be in your best interest to pick it up and drop it somewhere an enemy can't find it, such as in a bush or even off the map. But there's more to talk about, so moving on, because of the changes to the respawns where you now will spawn with a copy of your armor and your helmet level, both of your non-care package guns without attachments, and 2 stacks of ammo for both of them, if you drop somewhere where there aren't lots of enemies around, where there is a respawn beacon and you find a good armor, you could eliminate yourself by jumping off the map or stepping onto your own thermite, and then have a teammate respawn you to duplicate all of these items for another teammates. Just keep in mind that this strat only works if you're down bad on loot, if you know enemy teams won't push you, and if you're not looking to rotate early, or if for whatever reason you don't want to play the game and just want to create an infinite amount of armors in the world for whatever reason. But you can't really execute this strategy with most solo queue teammates, and honestly, going off my experience in the last few days of the previous season, you can't do anything with solo teammates, period. And now that we have the new promotional system, along with no party rank restrictions on what rank you need to be in order to be in a pre-made squad, the solo queue experience will be as terrible as ever. I really recommend finding a pre-made squad to run it with more than ever, and thankfully I have a channel in my Discord for just that. So make sure to join the community on discord.gg/Ottr to make sure you have a chance in the upcoming ranked season, or just to stay in touch with the community when I'm not live or uploading a video. Because you have to remember, odds are Respawn removed IMC armories and prowlers because they wanted to let the solo queuers be the NPCs instead. Do consider running the sniper rifles this season, especially the charge rifle. While it was difficult to use before, the reworked charge rifle was still decent, and now that it has received a buff, it's actually pretty good. It just takes a little while to get used to it, but afterwards, oh man, this thing is a beast. I can also see the new respawn system being a motivator for rats to run away, craft their teammates' banners, and then bring them back, but all I can hope for is that the lobbies won't be filled with these rat players with the changes to the promotional system. That being said, looking at the info that Respawn put out, you just need to place in at top 10 a certain amount of times during these trials in order to progress all the way through the promos, all the way up until silver, so odds are there's going to be a bunch of rats left, especially around silver or gold. But obviously, by looking at this very graph, we can see that you still need to be able to close out a game at the very top of rank, so if you are aiming for a good rank this season, you're better off making a habit of playing for the win. And of course, building off my previous point, especially since you only have a few games to pull this off, you're best off running those promotional games in a full stack. Discord.gg/Ottr. And one more thing about the Respawn, this could be seen as a rise of crypto, but honestly, I've said this so many seasons now that you have to take it with a grain of salt. I could recommend running crypto in really sweaty lobbies where he can revive teammates for a clutch play, or even hijack enemy respawn beacons to drop on the enemy team and try to go balls to the wall and frag out, but honestly, it's a really niche play and probably won't matter in the millions of other non-sweaty lobbies. But hey, if anyone pulls it off, make sure to let me know, because I just know that clip would go crazy. I am going to try to make a push for Predator this season, but I'm still going to be pumping out content about this new season, so make sure to subscribe so you can stay in the know for the best ways to keep winning. If you want to stay in the know with all of the changes, check out the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.